Hello, my gorgeous group ones. Welcome to your reading. In today's reading, we're going to be getting into what kind of partner / love are you manifesting. So I want to get a little bit about the partner you're going to be manifesting. And since that shouldn't take too long, after that, we're going to get into the kind of love you're manifesting together with that partner that we just talked about in the first segment of the reading. So I feel like we asked a lot of questions about who we're going to be with next, what's coming next in love, but we never really ask what kind of love are we manifesting, because there's many different kinds, and then there's also many different types of love. As in there's different types of relationships. Some are good, some are bad, some are karmic. Like, what kind of love are you manifesting next? Is it giving soulmate? You know what I mean? Is it giving twin flame? Is it giving karmic? Is it giving like the end all be all? We shall see based on what comes through in your reading. So let's get straight into it. However you got here, thank you for joining me here today. Okay, I decided to leave the flash off in this reading because these shuffle so smooth. Okay, so this next partner you could be manifesting could be smooth. I'm hearing Smooth Operator by Sade. I'm also hearing Smooth Criminal. So this person's like very suave, very cool cat. You know what I mean? They ease through life. They dance through life. They may not take, I don't want to say they don't take things seriously, but it's kind of like maybe things come easy for them. You know, flirting, life in general, that kind of thing. Because people who tend to, you know, approach love in like a very smooth, suave, smooth operator kind of way, don't have to worry about much, or they come off that way at least. That's the kind of vibe that's coming through with your person. Because the way these cards are shuffling is like a dream, okay? So this is like the kind of shuffling you want as a reader. If you know how to shuffle in that kind of way, that's just beautiful, that's gorgeous. So everything is going how it's supposed to. Okay. You never want to leave is the kind of energy I'm getting from this connection as well. But let's get into the person. What kind of partner are my group ones manifesting? What will they be like? Please, Spirit. Okay, that's a good chunk of cards. We'll see what came through with this. These cards tend to glare, which is the only reason why I'm not, using flash. So we have the Artist. I'm not sure if this is a new deck. It is. It's a card that's only in this deck. How cute is that? We have the Artist. This is 23. And of course, we know there's only 21 major arcana cards. And you got the other one, the Well. This is so interesting. Wait, so you guys got the two like out there cards in this deck. Wow. Okay. So we have the Artist and we have the Well, okay? So I feel like the Artist, and then we have the Moon. This is what I was going to say for your person before I even realized this was the Artist. Your person's a dreamer. They look up at the sky and kind of wonder what's out there. Are we alone in the universe? They deeply think about things. This is not a surface level kind of person. They have a lot of depth to them, is what I like to say when I'm doing these kinds of readings. There's more than just meets the eye, which is why I was saying this person may seem like a smooth cat and a smooth operator. You see how cats fall from long distances and always land on their feet and stuff like that. It's giving this person may seem like life. It's like they breeze through life. I'm hearing Easy Street. That's a song from the movie Annie, and that's what the villains, the mean guys in the film, they called Easy Street because they were planning to kidnap Annie and use her as to get a ransom from Mr. Warbucks, right? So the song they sang that they were going to be living Easy Street, or experiencing life on Easy Street once they kidnapped her and got that ransom. And it may seem like I don't know how to explain it, but it's like that song is coming through. So it may seem like this person like just breezes through life. And I'm also hearing Dancing Through Life, and that's a song from Wicked. And it's basically about Fiyero, and he's this prince from a faraway land that doesn't want to deal with anything in life. He just breezes through life. He wants to dance through life. He doesn't want to take anything seriously. He doesn't want to consider anyone else's feelings. So kind of like a selfish kind of energy. Or someone who just gets spoon-fed things. Their life is easy. Those characters to have depth to them, because I feel like Fiyero, there's a lot more than meets the eye. He was a very sweet person when he wanted to be, because when he first met 𝐓𝐴LPHA in the forest, when she was trying to run away or just find some peace and quiet, he didn't react in the way everyone else does when it comes to her green skin. He was like what's different about you? What am I supposed to be acting scared for? Because I think she asked him, like, are you not scared? Are you not surprised? And he was like, why should I be scared? And I think that was when she halfway fell in love with him in the movie, because he didn't react or gasp or treat her in, like she was this freak show, honestly. And that's what your person's kind of giving. They have seen some things, they've been through some things, and nothing kind of phases them. Looks, surface level stuff is not what they're after, nor what they like prioritize in the connections. The kind of vibe that I'm getting, this person wants to fall in love with someone's soul, with what they can bring and how they make them feel. So it's not just about how they look and how the world will react to them being together. This person doesn't care about surface level things. But so money, status, whether you've gone to school, they're not pretentious either. This person could be someone who has been judged for these things, so they've made it their task or their mission to not judge others for these things. But whether they're the hottest person you've ever seen, they're a walking catalog model, whatever you want to call it. I'm hearing firefighter, that could be something. This person only judges people based on their soul, right? Now, that's what the moon is giving me. Looking up at the stars and wondering where their person is. Very dreamy, always in their head, very like fantasy-driven kind of person. So this person's already giving Pisces energy, okay? Because the moon in the tarot is Pisces energy. This person could also be Cancer as well. But I feel like with the artist and the moon, they are very driven by their emotions. So their emotions rules them, or rules them. Yeah, rules them sounds right to me. That makes sense to me. But just look at how this person's like looking up at the sky, like, it's like somewhere over the rainbow. And it's funny how I was talking about Wicked and now Wizard of Oz is coming through. Is that kind of person who would embrace falling asleep and waking up in a foreign land, that kind of energy. This person could create worlds in their mind. And we have the world coming through here. Where is it? Oh, I didn't take it out yet. The world coming through here. I just wasn't sure how I was going to take it because it kind of came out in reverse. But yeah, this person like builds worlds in their mind. They could be a writer, or this is definitely giving a not tortured artist, but someone who like pulls from something. They pull from the ether. That's how the best way I can describe it. They pull from the ether to get ideas, to get ideologies. This is definitely someone who's into psychology. They're into sociology. They're definitely into the way the mind works. This person could be into astrology. They're into personality tests. They're into Myers-Briggs. They're into human design. That's the kind of person you're going to be with next. They're into all those things because it explores the human condition in one way, shape, or form, in one way or another, essentially. And this person is a wanderer. They wonder about a lot. It's giving those people a thinker, philosophers. There it is. This person's a philosopher. I'm thinking of like Plato and all those men who looked up at the sky and like came up with such beautiful phrases and ideologies and ways to live life. You're gonna find this person has like a beautiful outlook on life, how they live it, how they treat others, and that's something that will draw you in, because this person's already on their own dreamy. They can be very attractive, right? Or they have like mesmerizing eyes, or their eyes like light up when they talk about what they believe and what they love, and that's something you're going to find very attractive. But the artist and the well, they have a deep, like, they are like, I don't know, a natural creator, if that makes sense. You know how some people need a muse to come up with ideas? This person is their own muse. This person has worlds inside their mind that they're always constantly trying to pick apart and make sense of. So this person is definitely giving singer, songwriter, painter, like I said, artist, sculptor. This person like is just a creative at heart. Okay. So we have that. That's very beautiful coming through with this person. But this is like just giving, look at how the artist, he's looking and he's like looking at the world. He uses the world for inspiration. That's something that's very beautiful. Okay. And then we have the well, so deep, right? This person is very nourishing. I do believe this person nourishes your mind and they also nourish your dreams. This is the kind of person that's going to encourage you to follow your dreams, no matter how out there, no matter how far-fetched, no matter how unrealistic. Because I feel like from birth, they were someone who wanted to live the dreamiest, most beautiful, most untoward, most unrealistic life ever. You know what I mean? They're the people on social media who have the big houses, who decorate them. Like, who can I think of? I think her name is like Bethany Ciola. I don't know how to pronounce her last name. I never do, and it frustrates me because I forget about it. And then when I think about her again, I'm like, why didn't you go look and see how to pronounce her name? But she has the most beautiful fairy-esque kind of life. She has these beautiful kids who all look like characters out of a book, okay? She has a gorgeous husband. She herself looks like a real-life Disney princess. And she, like, builds her life around being, like, fantastical. She loves the Phantom of the Opera. And she loves, is it the Maze? No. The Labyrinth is the movie she loves, and all these things that are kind of like far-fetched and out there. And she has this big house that's decorated as if she stepped out of the Bridgerton kind of era, Victorian era. And it's like, who has houses and decorates them like that anymore? She does. You know what I mean? She has fireplaces and things like that, like her own palace. She literally made herself a queen on earth. And that's something we don't see often because queens are not a thing anymore, you know, maybe in England, and in some countries, honestly, but castles and queens and royalty and the upper class and, you know, living a fairy tale, fantastical life is not really the norm. But there are certain people who still make it their mission to live that kind of soft fairy tale, like hazy, whimsical kind of life. And that's your person. They want to strive for that kind of life, you know? So if you don't know who Bethany is, just ask me and I'll go link her TikTok, Instagram, whatever. There's also another beautiful Black woman on YouTube who's like the skinniest little, miniest little sprite, but she has the biggest hair ever. And she lives that fantasy life as well. Her husband's like 6 something and he towers over her and he just dotes on her. Like, she speaks so soft. She looks like a fairy tale character. Her and Bethany share that in common, right? And it's kind of like, how are women that beautiful? Are you even real? How is your life real? Like, she goes out in nature and like cooks food in nature. Like, her life is so beautiful. It's so like fairy tale-esque. It's like no one lives like that anymore, but they do. If you want to know who I'm talking about, I will definitely find them for y'all and link them or comment them, their names, the link to their TikTok or YouTubes, whatever, in the description box. But they're kind of giving me that fairy tale character. Okay, they have that whimsy to them. Like, how are you even real? With these two artists and the well, these are not traditional cards at all. So this person's very non-traditional, I would say. Maybe not in their gender roles, I feel like I felt called to say, but in their outlook on life in general, okay? And then we have the world, which is, I don't know, this person's just, they're very unique, okay? They're a very unique person. So I guess we'll get into the cards to figure out what kind of person they are. I want to find the cards. Okay. So the well, the astrological correlation is Gaia. The well is the birthplace of ideas, inspiration, and transformation. All things are birthed from this creatrix whose knowledge flows freely to those who seek it. Upright, it's nurturing, opportunity, nature, and creativity. We went over the creativity bit. This person could love being in nature as wells naturally dwell in nature, and they're also very, very, very deep. And you have to be careful not to get trapped or lost in their depths. So this person could, be like a scorpionic kind of intensity to them or magnetism to them where it's like, I can't help but be drawn into their darkness or to their depth, okay? And then after that, we have the artiste, which is, its astrological correlation is Ophiuchus, whichever one. The artist is the vessel of creation. This card signifies humankind and shows when you need to be open to the knowledge that is available if you stop and set aside the distractions of the human condition and listen. Upright is the visionary, interpreter, creation, and passionate. Is there another card after this? No, it's just... So the last two cards that are added to the deck are the ones your person got. So they're definitely like a different breed. They wouldn't be found in the normal major arcana, if that makes any sense. So, and look at how this person's looking out at the dreamy clouds and this castle in the sky and like recreating what he's seeing in the fairy tales. That's definitely what I was getting with your person. That's my confirmation right there. So now that we have that out of the way, I do want to get into what kind of love you're manifesting with this person, okay? So what kind of love? This is kind of giving me like mythological kind of love. You know, like it's not real and people will tell stories about it years down the line. You know how we hear about the Greek mythology, the Roman mythology, and we're like, are these people really real? Are these gods and goddesses real? You know, some people think they're real. Some people think they're not. Okay. Okay. So you're manifesting a thoughtful kind of love, but not to the point of where you're always... Okay, so what I mean by thoughtful is this is a thought-provoking connection. You think a lot, but I do believe you guys would have a lot in common because the Five of Swords is here on the table, right? And the Five of Swords usually not recommends. It represents, like, the word just came and left. Bickering, going back and forth, being unfair, not listening, not caring about anyone kind of but yourself and you winning and overcoming. And this person is just definitely giving, they like to compromise. They like to listen to your ideas and your ideologies, even if it doesn't, you know, match theirs. If it differs from them, they're very open to that. And the discussions you guys have will never lead to, oh, I hate that. They're never going to lead to them being closed off to the idea of anything. They're just that open. So even if you have an ideology they haven't ever thought of, they're kind of like, you know what, that could be real. That could be true. I can see that happening. You know, this person does believe in manifestation, things coming out of nowhere. You know what I mean? They believe in magic, you know? Do you believe in magic in a young girl's heart? How the music can free us whenever it starts, it's magic. This person has a very like strong connection to the creative arts, you know, because they're giving watery. They may not be a water sign. They could be Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, okay? But this person's just giving, they deeply resonate or connect with music, art, books, reading, other worlds, stuff like that, okay? They resonate with the unseen, the things that are unexplainable, you know? So very quirky kind of person. So with the moon, we have, like I said, Pisces and or Cancer. With the artists, they said the astrological correlation, they didn't really say, but they said Ophiuchus. I feel like I've heard the name before, but it's not coming through right. And then Gaia is the well, and the world are the fixed signs, which is Taurus, Scorpio, Aquarius, and Leo, okay? So you're getting a very stubborn person. But I feel like they're stubborn about their beliefs because they feel so deeply. I don't know how to explain that part. I don't think they're like giving stubborn, but it's like set in their ways, right? Which is why I was saying we do have the Five of Swords here, which represents conflict, but it's never going to lead to all out bickering and fighting and disagreeing and going to sleep angry because this person's willing to talk through it with you. They're mature in that sense, okay? So you're getting a very thoughtful kind of love. They're going to have you thinking about things you never thought of before. What kind of love are my group ones manifesting? Please, Spirit, what kind of love are they manifesting? I'm hearing very bright, very introspective, or very, when things just happen, very eye-opening. There it is. Oh, Lord, sorry. So it may be a love you never experienced before, a love you never thought you would experience. It could be that kind of fantasy love that you only read about in books and movies. That could be the kind of love you're manifesting. But this person deeply and wholly believes in that. So good for you guys. I heard chivalry is not dead. Okay, so let's look at the cards then. Here we have the King of Pentacles. Yeah, you're getting a provider. That's what I meant by the whole, they still believe in gender roles and things like that. If they are a man, they believe in providing. If they're a woman, they believe in nurturing, you know, keeping a happy, healthy home. Very much believe in that. I do believe this person also, I don't know, they think a lot about their future and love. As this creative kind of person, they have no choice but to, you know. So King of Pentacles is a Taurus, Virgo, and or a Capricorn. We have 10 of Pentacles, wowza. And we have 5 of Wands. Okay, your person may be a bit testy. They may be a bit argumentative. They may be a bit competitive, but hey, this person could definitely like fight for your love. The King of Pentacles gives me that kind of vibe, you know. It's like put up or shut up. They're never going to tell you something that they're not going to actually do. They're never going to fill your mind with false hopes and ideologies if they don't plan to follow through. That is the 10 of Pentacles, and that is the King of Pentacles. He is the king of his reality, of his material world. So if he says he's going to be rich one day, he's going to buy you a $15 million house, believe him or believe her, okay? This person's not lying. Whatever they think of kind of comes to fruition. And that's kind of something I feel like you're going to realize the more you get to know them. You know what I mean? Things that may seem unreal or impossible to other people is not impossible to them because they believe in everything. They're open to those things, okay? So here we have the 10 of Pentacles. So it's definitely giving stable, right? It's giving safe. It's giving control. It's giving mature. It's giving building upon something. So this person's definitely giving provider. That's the kind of love you're manifesting. So I'm hearing long term. So this will last the ages, you know, stand the test of time. This person speaks and like that. This love will stand the test of time. Like, who says that anymore? This person, right? So it's giving they may have stepped out of like a time novel. They time traveled from a different time because no one thinks like this. No one talks like this anymore. I'm getting called to, I think it was in Twilight where Bella was like, you talk like you're from a different time. You know, when she was like interrogating Edward about what are you, and he didn't want to tell her, and she was like, you're ice cold, you speak like you're from a different time or a different time period sometimes. And she was just like, you know, throwing all these things his way, and he was like, you know, not saying anything. And so she was like, okay, you're a vampire. She did her research, right? So you may like have to look into this person, do some research to be sure they're not like, you know, a vampire, you know, or anything dangerous to you, or just a liar, you know, because you're going to be like, you can't be possibly this attractive and this sweet and this successful and want to get married and treat me good. And, you know, you know what I just heard? Spirit, please stop the madness. Have you guys ever seen Legally Blonde? Where this is a part of the movie where she sees the 2 girls being mean to the nerdy guy, and she comes over and like slaps him and said, how dare you give me the best loving of my life and then never call me back. And she does him a solid because now the girls are chasing behind him instead of him chasing behind them. That's what I just heard as well. That scene popped into my head. So this person's attractive, they're successful, they give you the best loving of your life, and you're like, no, there's something has to be wrong. They could be argumentative or very set in their ways, very stubborn, because we have, I do believe King of Pentacles is predominantly represented by Taurus. So this person can be very stubborn. You know what I mean? You know, everyone has their downfalls. Everyone has their fallacies. Okay? And look at these words that I'm using. Like, I love using my big words, but I try to not use them so much in the readings so everyone can understand them. But the big words are out to play, child. Okay? So everyone has their downfalls, okay? Shortcomings, all that stuff is coming through. And then we have the 5 of Wands. They will fight for what they believe in. They will fight for you. They will fight for this love, okay? I'm hearing a song. Is that a song about fighting for love? Anyway, and then we have 10 of Pentacles. So it's definitely giving your love is going to lead to marriage and be long-term and be something you can feel safe in. This person's never going to leave you, cheat on you, stuff like that. It may, upset you to no end or annoy you to no end because of their stubbornness and because of their need to maybe always be right with the Five of Swords, because that's also the same energy as the Five of Swords. They want to be right all the time. They may annoy you with that, but other than that, this person's looking pretty good in my opinion. Okay. Five of Wands, they want to be at the top. And I'm so sorry I didn't use the proper lighting for you guys, but I hope you can see the cards fine, okay? This person definitely wants to have ever after. That's what the 10 of Pentacles can represent. It also represents generational wealth. It also more than represents that you're going to have kids with this person. You're going to move in with them, marry them, love them, be with them for a long time, see your kids grow up, your grandkids grow up. That's the kind of fairy tale love that's coming through here, okay? If you don't want kids, then whatever that happily ever after may mean for you, you travel the world every single day of your life and jet set. But I think this person wants the white picket fence and wants the long-term love and all this kind of stuff. They have a good body is what I just heard as well. Because this person could like nature, and that means going out in nature, getting their sun in, going for hikes, going for walks, breathing in the natural air, because we have Gaia coming through in the well. So nature is very important to them, or just the earth in general, because we had Gaia, the well, then we also have the world. So they could be a big person about they could be a big person. They could be big about wanting to change the world. I can't talk today, Jesus. Okay. So let's keep going and see what else comes through. I just wanted to use my new cards. What kind of love are they manifesting? We have the mind. So yeah, the mind's going to be big in this connection. Like I said already, I think I already mentioned that. Here we have give to the mind and it gives back. And the mind says inspiration coming through again. We have mood and we have cycle. And I love how what already came through was coming through once again, because inspiration is the artist and the well. Okay, mood is also the moon. This person can be like very moody at times, or they kind of go into their shell, okay, and kind of cut off the rest of the world. I'm hearing method acting. So when it comes time for this person acting, they could be an actor as well. I forgot to mention that. And when it comes to them making music, writing their books, they go into like a little cave and like just disappear from the world. And that's how they make their stuff. They can't have anyone disrupting their creative process. They go into the little cave, access a different world, and kind of bring those ideas from that world into this one. Okay. Here we have the protectress, a protective person. Yes, your energy is valuable. This person gives you energy instead of takes it away, or they ground your energy. They give you something to stabilize you. You know what I mean? To ground you. So we have the protectress, strength, boundaries, and amulet. Your energy is valuable. Dang right it is. This person's also big on, I feel like this person's giving spiritual, in my opinion, especially because we have the third eye illuminated here and the rainbow is coming out of it. I do want one more card from this deck, please, Spirit. What kind of love are they manifesting? I'm hearing a cord, or what is that thing that kind of grounds electricity? A rod. Okay, wow, the card's acting up. Here we have grow together. Find those who inspire you to bloom. That's what the Ten of Pentacles is basically saying. Growing together. Community, connection, reciprocation. So definitely a love that reciprocates. It gives what you give. So as much as you give is as much as you'll get back. So if you give all of you, this person's going to give all of themselves as well. And we have the number 33 here. That could be important. 333. That's creative energy. That's the energy of the Empress as well. And here we have potential and possibility, future, highest self, and quantum. Reach out to the potential that is calling for you. This person will inspire you to go after your dreams, like I mentioned earlier. They will not ever say, no, that you can never do that. You can't do this. They don't believe in that. We have eternal center, guru, protection, peace. We have Gaia coming through in a way again. This person could be big on stuff like that. Spiritual stuff. You are the power cord. You are the anchor. You are the, what is that rod called that kind of holds electricity? I don't know. The lightning rod is the best way I can describe it, but there's a specific word for it. You are the It's not coming to me. It's fine. So eternal center, it says, there is a place within me, still, calm, steady, and eternal. You know, next time I'm just going to turn on the blasted light, even though it glares. Here we have flower child, momentum, creativity, and action. This person could definitely resonate as a flower child. I don't understand how I'm not in the flash is not on, but it's still glaring. That's some ridiculousness. Flower child, momentum, creativity, action. Creativity coming through again. Action says that this is the kind of love that will take you places. You know, you will achieve a lot of things with this person. And here we have it's okay to forget and then remember all over again. The Voyager, return home, lessons, realizations. Yeah, you're going to be learning a lot with this love. I can't fight this love. Is that a song? I think it is. That song is coming through. Okay. And then I guess we'll get some cards from this deck here. Please, for my group ones, what kind of love are they manifesting? What kind of love are they manifesting? Okay. We have tea magic. Reach into your subconscious, pull from the source, and weave magic with intention, and the answers will unfold. That is what I was talking about with you guys making things together, doing big things together. Things will go really, really fast when you guys are together. So you're going to be really good manifestors with this person, or manifestors as a couple, I guess. And it comes from the subconscious. It's definitely giving some kind of manifestation magic. And I love how we have subconscious and then we have dreams coming through, or dreamy energy coming through in the moon. Okay, so we have that. This person could like to drink tea, get you into teas. Okay, here we have witches gathering. Gather in power, come together in grace. Unity is rising and all will be embraced. Community coming through again. Gather in power, come together in grace. Unity is rising and all will be embraced. Okay, so it's giving grace, right? It's giving power. So one of you can be the grace, the other of you can be the power. When you guys come together, unity and community are going to be a big thing. So building a community together. And then we have crow. Pay close attention to the winds. There's a message making its way. So this person could be messaging you soon. You could be meeting them soon. This person could be whispering your name, that I just heard. If this person's into as much spiritual stuff as I do believe they are, they could be manifesting you, and you be hearing your name in the wind, and that's them calling you, which could be sound creepy, but I think it sounds romantic. Okay, I think it sounds romantic, right? Especially because this person has a connection with Earth, Gaia, because it came through in the well. So they're just like sending out all their little what is it called? And they did come through as a flower child, right? Yeah, they're sending out all their animal friends to bring you back to them and like tell you their location. They're scrying for you, and the winds are kind of howling your name and telling them, going back to that person, telling them where you are. This is cute. I like this. Okay, but that's all that I have for you guys. I hope it resonated. If it did, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and let me know in the comments how it resonated, if you're excited to meet this person. But if you ever want a personal reading to learn more about your specific, I guess, person, or for it to get more personal, you can always email me using my email in the description box below. But I hope you're having a beautiful, wonderful day whenever you're watching this reading. And as always, I will see you gorgeous people in the next one. Mwah. Bye. Hello, my gorgeous group 2s. Welcome to your reading. Today, we're going to be getting into what kind of partner / love are you manifesting. So we're going to get into the kind of partner you're manifesting, then the kind of love you're manifesting together with said partner. Okay, so let's hop right into it. I'm excited. Group 1 was really nice. So what kind of love are my group 2s manifesting? Please, Spirit, what kind of love are my group 2s manifesting? What kind of love? We have justice. Ooh. I'm hearing someone who's going to fight for your sense and sensibilities. This person doesn't like when things are unjust, when people are treated unfairly, when people are judged. Okay, this person could be like, they work in the law or work with the law. I don't know. They could be a judge. They could be a... I just heard judge, jury, executioner. That's very funny. This person could be the kind of person who finds or fights for their own justice, or goes after their own justice. This person could be a police officer. This person could be something like that, okay? lawyer. What kind of partner are my group 2s manifesting, please, Spirit? What kind of partner are they manifesting? Someone who's wise, fair. I feel like they're even-tempered. They don't really get angry unnecessarily unless justice wasn't served, right? I'm hearing a lobbyer. That's very interesting. This person could be a politician as well, I feel like. They fight for the people. Interesting. You have an interesting person here. This person could definitely be in, like, yeah, politics and stuff like that. Here we have the Star. Interesting. 2 major arcana cards. Amazing. What kind of partner are my group 2s manifesting, please, Spirit? What kind of partner are they manifesting? And we have the 4 of Wands. And then the Ace of Pentacles. Wow. You guys are manifesting great partners, hey? Okay. So, you're manifesting someone who believes in justice, who believes in due process, who believes in everyone, like, having, how can I even, like, representation, I guess. So this is the kind of person who's very politically charged. They want to make sure everyone has housing, everyone has food, like, those things are important to them. So basically humanity, and how we all live in this very modern world, because we're very politically driven in this climate, very politically driven in where we're living, or the place we're living in, the times we're living in, because it's kind of hard for people not to be politically driven because it's kind of everywhere, okay? We kind of get dragged into it at times, you know what I mean? So this person could be a Libra, but they're very, like, book smart. They, like, I'm hearing, put the pedal to the metal. They probably had good grades in school. Whatever bothers them or whatever they don't have the answer to, they're looking in books to find the answer to. So, like, a very analytical, logical kind of person. This person doesn't seem to be, like, very emotionally driven. I wouldn't say that their emotions don't rule them. I don't want to say they're not emotionally driven. That sounds wrong. This person, like, feels, of course, but it's kind of giving, they take a clinical approach. They don't take sides. You know what I mean? As long as justice was served, however it was served, that's fine to them. But what is justice truly? Okay, that's a good question to ask this person when you meet them. What is justice truly? Everyone has their own, you know, opinions, right? Okay, so we have the Star card here, which is Aquarius energy. So this person's giving very heavy air sign energy right off the bat. We have Libra, we have Aquarius, very out of the box thinking, right? They are an ideas person or a fixer. You know, if someone has problems or has issues, they need help with homework, they need help finding an answer. It's kind of like they're an encyclopedia of knowledge is what I'm hearing. This person can be very intimidating as well. Okay, so we have the Star, we have Justice. So with the Star card here, this is someone who could be in the spotlight or likes to be in the spotlight, right? The Star is an energy of hope. This person has hope for where, you know, we all may end up, right? This is someone who hasn't lost their faith. They haven't lost their belief in good. They haven't lost their belief in humanity. That's something coming through for this person. So they still believe there's good in everyone. They don't believe that everyone, like, is evil, that kind of thing. They just have hope. Oh, this person could believe in wishing on stars. This person could have, like, a very an innocence to them. They still believe in, like, magic and stuff like that, okay? This person could be very attractive, right? They're very, like, aesthetically pleasing. They like to get their hair cut every week on the 4th. Or every 2 weeks, you know, whenever it's time to get their hair cut, it's getting cut. They're well groomed. They dress really well. They always smell like detergent for some of you, and that's, like, so attractive. They have, like, a nice cologne that kind of, like, draws you in. They just kind of seem like the person who has their life together. Like, if I'm being honest, that's kind of what I'm getting. They kind of wear their heart on their sleeve. They want to get married. They want to have a family. They're very loyal. That's one thing. They're also, like I said, very sociable. So they like to get out there and do social work. This person could also be a social worker, you know. They're running the streets when they, like, you know, in some places they do, like, riots or protests. They're in the streets protesting. They're that kind of person, right? They believe in equality for everyone, equality for all. No one should be discriminated against, you know? That's kind of the vibe that I'm getting. They believe in innocent until proven guilty, that kind of vibe. You know what I mean? They believe in democracy. I just want to put that out there with the justice card coming through here. That's everyone has a say. Not just one person, not just one entity, not just one group of people. Everyone has a say. And I guess whoever has the majority wins fair and square. That kind of energy, okay? Then we have Four of Wands, home, family, their inner circle, their friends is very important to them. The Four of Wands always gives me someone with a rich social life. So they have like a lot of friends. They may have a lot of friends who are already married, you know, or getting married. They have like a very long or large social network. This person is a good networker because out of a Libra and Aquarius, these are the two that are the most charming and get along with people. I feel like they make friends wherever they go. Libra in a more open, friendly, flirtatious kind of way. Aquarius in a more charming, interesting, quirky, and out there, interesting ideas kind of way. Like this person is kind of giving, you know, the part in Hamilton where they're like, bright young man, yo, who the F is this? Where he literally did like a conference for like 6 hours. He talked for 6 hours. The convention was listless. Bright young man, yo, who the F is this? Some people are like, you're brilliant. And some people are like, who do you think you are when it comes to your person, you know? So they could have an inflated ego, right? Libra is someone who is quite flirty or like good in social situations. Like I said, politicians do have like kind of, oh, you know, like when Aaron Burr was walking around and what is it called? Trying to become president, he was like going door to door and like getting in everybody's face and being very friendly and charming. And everyone was like, I like that Burr. You know, he seems very approachable. Like you can grab a beer with him kind of energy. So this person is quite friendly, quite open to everybody. They have a lot of friends, you know, they have a big social circle, that kind of energy. They get invited to a lot of places is what's coming through with this person. They could be out there going to like conventions or charity functions and stuff like that, especially if they have a big fancy job, which this person does seem to have. I feel like they have a good like federal government job, you know, but they're stable with the Four of Wands coming through here. They like to have a good time as well. So they're giving, when they have their suit on and they're in office, it's all business. You know, I'm hearing business in the front, party in the back, a mullet. This person could have a mullet, or that's just referencing their personality, where sometimes they're all business, sometimes they're party animal, you know? That's that balance coming through in the Four of Wands, right? This person could have like, they can be really religious because we have a church coming through here in the Four of Wands, and it's usually a couple under this altar, not a church. So it's definitely kind of giving this person is very religious or very, what's the word? Chaste, whatever you want to call it. That word is coming through as well. Just a good Samaritan is the energy coming through. And now we have the Ace of Pentacles. So this person does have ideas for where they want humanity to go. This is the person that has it all together. They're at the top of their class. Everyone is like, this is going to be the future president of the United States when they knew them in school. That's who this person is. They were on debate team, right? They were in honor society, right? They were in, what do they call it? UN, model UN in class. This is a person that was getting straight A's when it came to school. And now they're using their smarts to not outmaneuver, but to make the world a better place in some kind of way, you know? This is definitely the person everyone goes to for advice. They don't take sides when it comes to certain things. So friends can come and ask them, oh, me and so, and they're both, two of their friends will come to them and ask them, hey, I said this and this one said that. Instead of like, you know, this person is giving politician. Instead of answering straight out, they're giving you the runaround so you can come to your own conclusion, right? They don't want to outright say anything. This is very interesting. Very, very interesting. Okay, so yeah, your person is definitely someone who is quite grounded. I do believe their roots and where they come from is very important to them, no matter what those roots are. This person could be from the deep south and be a good Christian boy and believe in going to church every Sunday and not, sleeping around. They want to get married, have kids. This person could be from New York and they're very heavily enveloped in the New York culture. I just believe this person is very enveloped in whatever culture they come from. You know what I mean? They believe in getting a bacon, egg, and cheese every day and going on their way. This person could be funny. This person could be I'm hearing dry humor, dry wit. This person's an intellectual. They're the professor kind of archetype. I feel like the teacher archetype where they teach everyone. They have hot takes, they may not get along with everyone well, but they're charming enough to not have people openly I heard stolen them. Wow. Openly go against them. You know what I mean? This person can have pull, power is the kind of energy coming through, right? I want to get more about this person. I don't know if we got enough. 11 minutes in, maybe we have. Can I get more cards regarding their person? We have the 8 of Cups. Yeah. This person, move them up. This person has no power walking away from things. I do believe this person is striving towards something. So if something isn't working out for them, they're going to up and leave. If they are not satisfied, they're going to up and leave. They're chasing, they're not satisfied with a B. They're going to want to get an A. They're not satisfied with good enough. They want to be excellent. They want to be exemplary, that kind of energy, that kind of person. Like I said, they were in school. They were the president. They were the valedictorian. They were the person in debate team. They were the person in the band. They were the person in Model UN. They were the person who, that kind of energy. Group 2's person, please, Spirit. What kind of partner are they manifesting? Here we have a 9 of Cups, but they are a lover boy, lover girl. And then we have 10 of Cups and chasing that happy ever after. Emotionally, they're chasing that feel-good feeling. Money may not be important to them, but their emotions are important to them because we have this 8 of Cups coming out. Then we have the 9 of Cups immediately after. And then we have the 10 of Cups after that. So this person's constantly chasing the 10 of Cups. Nothing beneath that is satisfactory for them, So this person could be a traveler, or they're always seeking and finding answers. That's kind of what this 8 of Cups is giving me. Instead of walking away from things that don't serve them, they are just on this long, winding journey of learning through experiences, of experiencing life to the fullest, that kind of energy. 9 of Cups is definitely someone who's very open about how they feel towards you. So if they feel if they feel some kind of way for you, they will make it known. They will ask you out. They're not shy about flirting and being open in their romantic interest. Boy, please. This person get frustrated at non-perfection. I think I already kind of said that already because I was just blundering all these words and they were getting annoyed. I could feel it. This person would be annoyed if you can't articulate yourself well or get your words out. If you're always and stuttering, they're gonna get it out. What do you want to say? You know what I mean? Because they're they truly believe in being blunt and straightforward and not hiding anything. Even though they're giving politician. Okay. I don't know if this is important for someone, so I'm going to say it, even though I don't want to say it. They're kind of giving me Zoran Mamdani, I think his name is. The guy who's running for, mayor of New York. How people either love him or hate him, that kind of energy. People think he has a hidden agenda and all this kind of stuff. And I feel most of the people who he is running against don't like him and are having smear campaigns against him. But the people love him. So it's who do we believe? The people who are in politics who probably know him better? Or do we believe the people who just like him? The world may never know. Okay, this person could have a lot of naysayers or people against them as well. If they are in the public eye, especially if they're in the public eye, because they're in the public eye. You know how people get mad at you because you're successful? Very ghetto. But 10 of Cups is definitely someone who is going to hold you and cuddle you and kiss you and tell you how pretty you are. They are a very lovey-dovey kind of person, very affectionate kind of person. And that's something they want in their relationships. It's either 10 of Cups or nothing at all. That's the kind of energy. If they're getting an 8 of Cups, they're not satisfied. They want to keep going because the lover boy in them wants nothing less than perfection. even though perfection is scarcely, you know, given or attained, they want it. So they're very picky in their connections. Like I said, it's either my perfect partner or nobody or nothing, okay? So great. Interesting. The star, for the star, I do want to say this person could be into some kind of like astrology, you know? I'm hearing Scientology. Excuse the heck out of me. Not Scientology. I don't like that. But they could be into something like that, you know? Religion, organized religion, or if not, then spirituality is a big thing for this person. And like getting to know people. They're good at reading people as well. I want to say that. They're good at reading people. So let's get into what kind of love you're manifesting with this person. That was fast. This person's giving like they are bilingual, trilingual, they speak many different language. Because for whatever reason, I wanted to say como se dice when I was trying to explain the cards that fell out. And that's like what it's like this person could like be bilingual. They slip back into their native tongue. They could be Spanish, Hispanic, I don't know. But I'm like, I never feel like saying como se dice. So I'm like, why do I feel like saying that now? This person could like, you know, try really hard to stick to English, but they speak a different language. It doesn't have to be Spanish, okay? They read a lot, and they're just always like, they could be, like I said, trilingual, multilingual is the vibe of this person. Can I ask a question first? Yeah. What kind of love are they manifesting with this person? You see the cards are running out. This person, yeah, this person's very much seeking love. That's what they're seeking in their life with the Knight of Cups. Love is the end-all be-all for them. They may love their career and all this kind of stuff, but friends and community is very important to them, which is why they probably advocate for their community by being this politician-esque figure. Here we have the Wheel of Fortune. Wow, okay. I'm hearing scary, intense, and all-consuming this love of this person. The love you're manifesting with them is kind of scary and intense. Especially if it's not something you've ever experienced before. You may have to stop and pinch yourself. You know, this is also fated because the Wheel of Fortune represents fate, meant to be. This person could be country because I'm hearing that song. If it's meant to be, it'll be, it'll be. So it's kind of like you were meant to meet this person. Here we have the Six of Wands, very successful. Your relationship may be in the spotlight because Six of Wands is someone who's in the spotlight, someone who gets a lot of attention. So your love is going to be like for all the world to see on the world stage, or a lot of people, especially if this person has, like I said, a lot of friends and family members. There's going to be a lot of opinions about your connection, your love, especially if it seems too good to be true. Because people want to fight for love and believe in love, but as soon as people seem too happy, oh, there must be something wrong. This person could seem like, yeah, when you first meet them, maybe they're a little too full on. Maybe they like love bomb you, but it's not love bombing. Because this death holding the wheel is kind of giving me something to be afraid of. Like this person holds your destiny, your fate in their hands. So it may be like a very intense, instant connection. And then you're attached to them emotionally. And it's kind of like, okay, what just happened here? You know, or like you meet someone and things kind of click into place. That whole soulmate meeting, when you touch someone, you know, the connection zings to life. And you could just tell this is your forever person. That's what the love's going to feel like between you two. It may scare some of you because this person may not be your type. You may not want to love them or feel any kind of connection to them, but you do. I'm getting that for some of you here. So why else would love scare you? We have the Eight of Pentacles, working hard. It may take some time for you to warm up to this person. What kind of love are they manifesting? Like, I don't want to say fairy tale, but that's what I'm kind of getting with the Wheel of Fortune. It's kind of like you've met your match, right? Maybe you guys are too alike or too different is the vibe that I'm getting here. Maybe there's something here about race, interracial, or intercultural kind of connection, you know? Because I'm getting an energy, I don't know how to explain it, of, yeah, you're meant to meet this person. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of eyes and scrutiny on this connection, but it's not giving, oh, it's effortless. What the Eight of Pentacles is giving, you have to work and fight, not even fight, but work really hard to make it work. You know what I mean? It's like a realistic kind of fairy tale love, if that makes sense. where it's not we get along perfectly and we agree on everything and we want the same things out of life. It's like, no, we may have differing views, but there's this bond that we can't seem to shake. And whether we have it's giving different political views. One of you could be a Republican, the other one of you is is a Democrat, right? It is. Look at me, I'm a fool, sorry. And it's kind of like, we don't get along we don't agree on certain things. And that could be a thing because this person's giving their very political or social or the way that the world is working and the healthcare system and the public opinion and whatever is very important to them. They could be a news anchor and it's their job to relay the news. And you're kind of like, I don't like the way you relay the news. I don't like your opinion on certain things. And it's like, okay, let's talk about that. Let's work through that. You know what I mean? This being fated could mean you're meant to change their perspective on things, or they're meant to go through a big death through you. Because I remember death did kind of want to come out for your group. Okay, so that could be coming to they go through a big transformation. So your love is life changing. Or life affirming is what I just heard. Okay, yeah, look at that, life affirming, pro-life. This is very political. I don't know. That could be something that's important to you or not, but it's coming through. What kind of love are they manifesting with their person, please, Spirit? Put these over here. We have the Queen of Cups, so it's going to be very soft and very caring and very loving, at the very least, okay? And then we have the King of Pentacles, a very interesting mix. Yeah, this is giving the hard ASS to your soft, cozy, lovable energy. This person may be the strict to your not so strict, Very interesting. Six of Wands is success from a lot of hard work, okay? Because we have the Eight of Pentacles following it. So it's going to be successful. You're going to make it work, but it may, take some time. That's about it. But the King of Pentacles is definitely someone who's very self-assured. He is the most mature, the most grown energy in the tarot I've heard. So he's someone who has seen a lot of things, experienced a lot of things. He had to fight. This person could be older is what I'm hearing as well. Because even though we have a queen coming out here, the king is still above the queen in some way. So this person could be older, they have more experience, they make more money than you, they have a bigger, better job. They could be a celebrity, they could be a politician, they could be someone in the spotlight, and you meet them and you're kind of like, I don't want this scrutiny on me. And that's something you never would have chosen for yourself. A connection or love in the spotlight where everyone has an opinion. But there's an energy here that you can't shake with this person because you're meant to be with them with the Wheel of Fortune Fate card, There's something about you or this connection that sparks big change in each other, and it's fated. So it's giving like soulmate. You were meant to meet this person. That's the kind of love you're manifesting. Soulmate. I don't want to say karmic, but karmic means you're supposed to learn something from them. It could be twin flame actually, because that would be karmic and soulmate mixed together. You're meant to learn something with this person and experience some growth, extreme growth. But it's also, we're going to be together at the end of this. You know what I mean? And sometimes twin flames don't end up together, but they do have things to teach each other. So take a reference for you, child. And then we have the 1111 card here. That could be twin flame energy. Okay. This person could believe in that. And that's why they're not settling for anything less than that. Interesting. Okay. So King of Pentacles, yeah, someone who's very strong, someone who's very stable, someone who has money. That's all that I can say with the King of Pentacles, because he does. He's been around the block. He's been around for a long time. It's kind of like giving why are all vampires in movies and television shows rich? Because if by your big age of 100 and something, you haven't accumulated some kind of wealth for yourself, there's something wrong with you. Just throw the whole vampire away. If you haven't been living for centuries and you don't have money to burn, it's giving, what have you been doing? Right? This person is older, they're grown. If you don't have your head on your shoulders, you don't have some money put away or some kind of stable income coming in, what have you been doing all these years on the planet? What have you been doing? You haven't been being responsible, and I don't want you if you haven't, kind of energy. You know what I mean? Okay, so but you're also getting a provider because the King of Pentacles is that kind of providing kind of energy. He's very, and I also think he's like soft. You bring out the softness in this person. That's what I said earlier already. Like you're giving the I don't know how to explain it, the soft to their heart, essentially. And your love is going to be about getting them to open up and see other perspectives, you know? Because I did say this person's kind of set in their ways. They could have grown from the deep south. They could have grown up in a specific culture where it's, you know, important for men to do this, or women can't do this and women don't have a say. And you kind of be like, that's not going to fly with me. And then it leads them kind of having some come to Jesus, or very like, you know, important kind of growth in their life, you know? And I believe they're going to do the same for you. They may teach you to be more responsible, right? They may teach you to be more forthcoming, more outspoken, that kind of thing. Okay. So, but I love how these are the complete different modalities. We have the earth to the water, you know? That's what it's going to be like. Really soft, loving, and emotional, but also very realistic. That's what I was kind of saying earlier, right? Where it's not going to be, oh my gosh, and they live happy ever after. No, we're like fighting and constantly like, you know, working on this connection, but it's easy in some kind of way. It's easy, or it's easy for me to want to fight for you. It's not hard for me to want to be with you at all. You may like have some troubles, which all couples do, but it's, you ground yourself and you're very realistic about where you come from, who you are, what you want. And that's something that I think eclipses everything else. Okay, let's keep going. What kind of love are they manifesting with this person, please, Spirit? What kind of love? And I love how we have the Ace of Pentacles. Maybe you follow this person on their arc to finding money, to making it big, which is why you go from two nobodies to two people. Maybe you become the Michelle and the Barack Obama, where you marry them and you kind of knew they wanted to go into politics, but we didn't know about Michelle and Barack until he ran for president and won. And then all of a sudden their whole life was under scrutiny, but they're both successful, smart, intelligent, very dignified individuals. You know what I mean? But they're also very different in their own ways. I believe Barack is more like, you know, private, and then Michelle is like, she has a new podcast with her brother and she has guests on and she wants to speak out against certain things. Whereas Barack is like, you know what? I did my presidency. Now it's time for me to float back into the ether. But you see how they're both kind of in politics or human services, we should say, but they go about it in different ways. He wanted to be president. Michelle is like, I care about good health in schools and making sure kids have what they need to grow up and be, you know, productive members of society, no matter their background or their race. But they go about it in different ways. But they both have the same, you know, drive to see humans evolve and be good, better, be great. Okay, let's keep going. He wanted to rule a nation. She cares for the kids, the homemaker kind of energy. Okay, here we have sweet oblivion. I said that wrong. Uncertainty, fate, and humor. Fate coming through once again. It's okay. I don't know what I'm doing either. That could be something you may have to admit to this person. I've been faking till I make it, and they've been doing the same. And here we have the sun, be patient, manifestation, power, and 1111. That's twin flame coming through again, guys. Stop playing now. So yeah, I was saying this may be like very intense and transformative because it's giving that twin flame vibe. But the sun is also burns really bright. That's the intensity coming through. So y'all go from arguing to effing, to kissing, to snuggling, to arguing again. Funny. Okay. What kind of love are my... Jesus Christ. Choose manifesting. We have flower child. We have momentum, creativity, and action. You're meant to create something together. And in here it says, I hope that over everyone else, you learn to make yourself proud. That's what I was saying about this person maybe helping you obtain better boundaries. And then underneath the deck, we have breaking into bloom, time, liberation, understanding. So over time, the more you guys spend with each other, the more you guys evolve as a couple, you get married in your older age, you understand why you were brought together that one time. I don't believe Barack and Michelle were brought together by coincidence. They were brought together for a reason, because their presidency, or Barack's term with Michelle by his side, kind of changed the world in a kind of way. First of all, they were the first black, first family up in there, and Michelle was just as powerful, if not more influential, than her husband. We love some Michelle, child. We want to hear her do speeches, and we were even trying to get her to run for president. She was like, nah, sir, that's not my forte. But there's like power couple vibes. Yeah, exactly. You guys are changing the world through being together, okay? But it says sometimes you will break before you bloom. And that could be talking about your connection, your love as well. Sometimes it may break and it may be difficult, but you'll realize in the long run why you guys are placed together, and it'll all make sense one of these days. Okay, let's get some more cards from these decks here. This is the last deck I'm pulling from. What kind of love are they manifesting? We have falling leaves. Let go of the things that weigh heavily on you. You deserve to take up space. So it seems this person or this love is teaching you guys, or you in particular, to take up space. Someone is coming out of their shell, blooming, because what this card said here. Breaking into bloom. No more hiding. What? That song's coming through. No more hiding. Now I'm shining like I'm born to be. That song's coming through. Golden from K-pop Demon Hunters, right? There was what was I saying? Oh my freaking gosh. Wasn't the whole premise behind their connection him being a demon, her being half demon but trying to hide it from the world, and them starting off as not liking each other until they realized them being in a relationship, there was something about them being together that she could open up to him, and she felt, what was she saying in the song? And we can be free, free. We can't fix it if we don't never face it. Let the past be the past, and let's make it. Come on now. Time goes by and I lose perspective. Let me not get into it because y'all not ready, okay? But they ended up being just what the other person needed at the end, by the end of the movie. This is beautiful. I love this for you guys, truly. Okay. So there is something here about leaves falling off, so a bigger, better, more stable, I guess, bush can grow later on. Oh my gosh, I can't. Go watch K-pop Demon Hunters if you haven't, y'all. Okay. Can I get one more card, please, Spirit? What kind of love are my group 2s manifesting, please? We have Wool, 44. So we have 11 coming through here. I believe, was it 33 that came through? No. 40, 14, no. That was maybe group 1. So it says Wool. You are woven with an embrace, protected, loved, and the familiarity of finally being home. That is beautiful. That's gorgeous. And my nose is itching. Jesus. That's confirmation right there, but it's itching real bad, y'all. I can't, hold on. Y'all cannot hear I was itching my nose just then, but yeah. Falling leaves is also, I'm hearing everything falls into place. This connection could release a burden you've always been carrying, and that's what the girl in the movie was releasing as well. I think her name was Rumi. Don't get me, I can't remember. But it's like she was carrying around these secrets, not being her full self, too scared to tell the world and her friends that she was part demon, right? And then it wasn't until she met him and realized, okay, now I'm in love, now I like him. And at the end, that she was finally like embracing her, demon side. So yeah, this person could help you embrace all the things in you that maybe that's the reason why you don't like them at first, because they shed light on parts of you don't want the light to be shed on. And that's something you grow into with this person, or vice versa, whatever you want to call it, okay? But yeah, well, it's safe, it's comfy, it's cozy. They allow you to be soft because they're King of Pentacles. They're sterile and viral. Manly nature of protecting and serving is kind of calling to the Queen of Cups in you, and is allowing you to be now soft and open. This is beautiful. This right here. And I thought group 1 was good. This is beautiful. This is gorgeous, darling. Gorgeous. Okay, so yeah, it's gonna be like a warm hug on a cold day, hot cocoa in the winter, a blanket when it's freezing. Oh yes, that's what the love you're manifesting. That's what it's gonna be representing for you. Wool is meant to keep you warm, to keep the heat in and the cold out. In this connection, even though you may have a lot of eyes on you and you guys both may be successful, like Barack and Michelle, right, okay, or J and B, right. No, we know nothing about their connection. We know nothing about their love. I mean, Barack and Michelle be shouting from the rooftops. They be shouting how much they love each other. You know what I mean? But we still don't really know much about them. They're very private at the same time. So that's why it's like, it's giving a cocoon where you guys keep the warmth between you guys. But when you go out into the world, you have to be business, you know? Okay. I will leave it there. I hope this resonated. If it did, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, join the tribe. We'd love to have you. If you would ever like to book a personal reading with me, you could always get in contact with me using my email in the description box below. But I hope you're having a beautiful, wonderful day whenever you're watching this reading. And as always, I will see you gorgeous people in the next one. Mwah. Bye. Hello, my gorgeous group 3s. Welcome to your reading. If you chose thumbnail image 3, thank you for joining me here today. Today's reading is going to be about... Lord, I have to sneeze real bad. Okay. What kind of love are you manifesting? But also, what kind of partner are you manifesting? That sneeze just turned me all wonky, child. Okay. So we're going to get into the kind of partner you're manifesting and then what kind of love you're manifesting with that partner. And already there's something here about relief or feel good or endorphins, dopamine, oxytocin, immediate rush, those kinds of exciting, very high stakes kind of love. But there's also something here about, there was something else that I was saying. The sneeze, it was a relief. There's something here about maybe it being a rush. You know what I mean? Whew, boy. Maybe it being a little bit hectic. Well, let's get into it. Like, there was something here about me sneezing and that having to do with the reading. Like I said, that felt good. It's like, let it out. A release of tension, a buildup of something only for it to be released. So maybe I'll go into a slow burn kind of love. Who knows? We shall see what the cards tell us. And look at things falling. Yeah, a little bit hectic, chaotic, maybe. Let's see. First, we're going to get into and then just the 3 of swords at the bottom of the deck, but it's in reverse, okay? So maybe healing, a healing kind of love, but let's get into it. What kind of partner, first off, are they going to be manifesting? What kind of partner are my group 3s manifesting, please, Spirit? What kind of partner are my group 3s manifesting? What kind of partners are my group 3s manifesting? We have the 10 of Cups, and then we have the freaking 3 of Swords in reverse. Interesting. Now, I'm about to take these in reverse or upright. Interessante. I don't know. We'll keep them in reverse to get the rest of the cards, I guess. But I don't know if I'm taking reverse because I haven't in a minute. But maybe there's some significance. I don't know. There's an energy here. Maybe you're not thinking you were going to have this, which is why it's such a relief. Maybe you're going to be hesitant towards this love at first, which is why it ends up being a slow burn. Very interesting. Okay. Yeah, let's get into it. Group 3s, please, Spirit. What kind of, what kind of partner you're manifesting? Okay, so someone who may have been like, I don't know. And it's funny how at the beginning I was talking about the love you're manifesting and then the partner came afterwards, after like an afterthought. Interesting. So now I'm getting, you know what? I might just put these cards back. If this were to be talking about a person, I like the 3 of Swords in reverse for a person because it means they have gone through heartbreak and they've healed from it, or this person could be seen as someone who causes heartbreak, but they are healing from that as well. So they could be someone who used to cause a lot of heartbreak, but they're healing and learning, which is why you may be hesitant to, yeah, okay. So it's giving someone who's very attractive and someone who I'm hearing could be your usual type, but that kind of scares you because your usual type has caused you a lot of pain in the past. Interesting. What kind of lover are they manifesting, please, Spirit? What kind of partner are they manifesting? My group 3s. What are these giving? We have 5 of Cups and 4 of Pentacles. Interesting. Yeah, this person has been maybe hurt and they don't think they're going to get a happy ever after, because we have the 10 of Cups in reverse and we have the 3 of Swords in reverse. So this person may have some healing still to do, or they may just be very closed off with the 4 of Pentacles. And then we have the 5 of Cups. They're closed off because they've been hurt a lot. This is very interesting. Very, very interesting. I want more cards, please, Spirit. My group 3s. What kind of partner are they manifesting? This person can be skeptical. Now, you know what? I'm about to start getting crazy, because you know those things, there's those bugs that look like moths, but they have like red speckles all over them. They are outside just on this tree, and they're not good for the trees. They kill the trees, and we've been told to kill them when we see them. And I'm seeing 2 behind the other just walking together. So maybe both y'all toxic. Maybe you're manifesting a person who used to be toxic, and you used to be toxic, and now you guys are, taking things slow and building together. Because I'm ready to bust open this window and kill those mofos. They be so ugly too. Like, why are y'all a thing? Okay. I'm sorry. Give me a second. Because I never see them, but now they're just casually outside when your reading comes. They were not here for group 1 or group 2. So things that may not be good for us, but they end up being good for us. Let's see what comes through for your person. Or they may come off as toxic, but they're not. Their next partner, please. Not their next partner. What kind of partner are they manifesting, please, Spirit? What kind of partner they're manifesting? Someone who saves. A saver, because the 4 of Pentacles can be someone who likes to save money. Okay. Or this could be someone who's scared of heartbreak and scared of giving too much of themselves to someone. That would make a lot of sense with the 5 of Cups. This could be like a very sad person, or a person whose emotions hold them back in some kind of way, or who holds their emotions back, I would say. Because look, the 5 of Cups, this guy is turned away from the 2 of Cups behind him. He's like, no, sir, I want no parts of it. Interesting. Yeah. A reformed playboy or playgirl could be your next partner. Not your next partner. Jeez. Your reading is just already getting on my nerves. Because why are we doing all of this for? Like, this is what kind of partner are you manifesting next? I'm just going off script and saying a bunch of stuff that I'm not supposed to be saying. And the cards don't want to come out. We have a Hermit. Yeah, someone who's coming out of their shell and opening themselves up. Because the Hermit wants to come out in reverse. So I'm not taking no more reverses, okay? What kind of partner are they manifesting? This can be someone who's shy and someone who's scared to be hurt by love. Because they've been hurt before. They just don't want to be hurt. Period. There's those people who've never been in love. And it's because they are scared of being hurt and letting their guards down. So someone who's very private, not shy, but like reserved. And then we have Judgment. This person can be judgmental. Funny. This person's going to be experiencing an awakening when you meet them, or they could be experiencing one right now. Because the Judgment card is very good for that. And your inner call, like you're receiving a phone call from inside yourself, and you're constantly asking, should I pick it up? It will lead to something life-changing and big, but you don't want to pick it up. And that's what I meant by slow burn. Yeah. Your next partner is someone who may not be as evolved as you or experienced as you. If you're someone who's been through a lot of connections, this person is the kind of person who went through one heartbreak in their life and never opened up their heart fully to anyone ever again, which is why they could come off as someone who's a heartbreaker, but they may not be. They're just protecting their fragile heart. Maybe they're into friends with benefits with these 3 cups in the front of the 5 of Cups, and even that's not working out for them quite well. So this is someone who deeply craves love and the 10 of Cups connection, but they keep inadvertently breaking their own heart because they won't let themselves get too close to someone. If that makes sense to you, hopefully it does. Okay. So yeah, they're scared to be hurt. So they push everyone away, but deep inside they crave this love. Whoo, child. So trust issues is coming through a little bit. Okay, so we have the Hermit, so this is Virgo energy. Look at how they just want to be booed up and loved up on. You know what? I'm correcting this energy for them. I don't care. Yeah, y'all been hurt. We've all been hurt. Suck it up, group 3's person. Don't do that. Don't close yourself off from this soulmate level love, the 10 of Cups, because of what? This is the kind of person who's scared to be too happy. For fear it gets snatched away from them. This person could have experienced loss as well, because Five of Cups kind of gives you that vibe. Something was snatched away from them. It could have been like, death. They could have lost their lover, and that's why they could be widowed, right? Or they just lost a partner, and that's something that they're still dealing with. But this person wants, you know what? It's giving me the Keanu Reeves syndrome. You know what I mean? Where he, very young, he found his one true love. He had a child, and then he lost them like a car crash or something. And then since then, that man was single for most, if not all, of his life. And only recently did he find a partner that he fell in love with. And it took a long time. Keanu Reeves is grown as heck, in his 50s or older. And it wasn't until like maybe 5 years ago did he like debut a connection, a love connection. I think they're engaged or something, or married or whatever, or about to be engaged to be married. But it took him forever to like open up that way. We never saw him with someone. Maybe, of course, he was having flingalings in the background we didn't know about, but we did not see him step out onto the red carpet with a lover until this lady he just met. And they were just the way he talks about her is, you could tell he didn't want to be hurt the way he was again. But he opened himself up to love, and look what happened. This person could be older, they could be jaded, they could be really hurt, this next partner. But I do believe they're going to be having an awakening, whether it's with you or right before they meet you. Something that's going to open them up to this love that they want to meet. Because I don't think Spirit will give you someone, I hope they wouldn't give you a partner that you're ready for, but that who's not ready for you. That's kind of ghetto. Okay? Don't you think? Like, yeah, I'm ready for love. Oh, my partner isn't. So now I'm going to be going through these cycles and ups and downs. No, you could meet this person, you end up being friends first. That could be all they're ready to be. And you don't know they're going to be your long-time lover. You just are long-term lover, but you just know you feel attracted towards them, whether it's sexual or not, right off the bat. You feel drawn towards them. And by being on this journey, it takes a while for your friendship to blossom into more. And I do believe when Keanu was talking about this lady he's with, he said they start off as friends. Yes, so it is giving slow burn, guys. So just bear with me here. It's giving you meet this person. They may not be open to love, but the more they get to know you, the more those feelings open them up. They go through an emotional awakening. And once they are in that energy and ready, that's when the romantic feelings are going to hit, because now they're finally open to love. This is beautiful. Like, all three groups have been so gorgeous, but this is like some deep emotional healing. And that's what I was saying at the beginning of the reading, because I had to sneeze and I'm like, whew. That's like something that was building up, and you finally release it, and it feels so good to sneeze, guys. Tell me you don't. When you have a good sneeze, it's like everything you've been holding in just comes out, You know how, y'all sneeze. Y'all know what I mean. Who beautiful, okay? Yeah, this person deeply, truly wants a family. They want love, but they could have lost a family. They could have lost a child. They could have lost a partner or a lover, and it's led them to not ever wanting to feel that way again. I understand, okay. But then we have the Hermit. This person is very introspective. They're very smart. They're also very much a giver. This person is always on a journey of becoming better. So, and that has not, this person could be a loner. They are always evolving and becoming their best selves in every other aspect in their life but love. And it takes that rubber band finally popping or being broken, that tension that they've been carrying around with them, to finally pop and release, for them to heal. This Three of Swords in reverse, for them to go inside themselves and heal this sadness and this longing for something they think they can't have. But if they were to just turn around, they would see those two cups are there for them, which is soulmate bonds and connections, which is love, which is relationships. So yeah, that kind of person you're manifesting. But the Hermit on its own is someone who's always craving deep personal development. So someone who reads a lot, someone who's always like, if something's wrong, they're healing themselves, right? This could also be someone who heals other people, who helps other people heal, but never allows themselves to open up. We all love Keanu. He's one of the best human beings to ever walk the planet, but he was so lonely for so long. That's the best way for me to explain it to you, because from what I'm hearing, or what I would be hearing if I was pick this pile, I would be like, nope, I don't want this person. But it's not about that, them being a bad person or going to break your heart. It's just them being hurt so much. They're a great person, but it's like love's going to take a while for them to build that trust between you and your person, which is why in the beginning, we're just friends. Maybe we think we're cute. I think she's cute. They think I'm cute, whatever. But that romantic epiphany doesn't hit you until they're all ready and open for it. And then you guys kind of embark on that. So this person is very, very, very protective of their heart. They're scared to get their heart broken again or just in general, you know? And like I said, it could be because they lost a partner or a child or a family, a whole family, you know? It's giving those romance books, right? I'm sorry, I love these tropes because it's like the guy is like so damaged and closed off. He doesn't want to be with the person, but something about them. You know, I just read a book, right? I forget what it's called. I think it's called The Matchmaker or something, where there's this guy, he's older, right? He's in his 50s and he meets this 20-something, 23, 25-year-old girl his daughter hires for him. And he literally in the book lost his wife and he lost his son. But he still has 2 kids who are alive, right? And something happened where the yacht they were on, because he's a billionaire, okay? So this person could be a billionaire, okay? It's not funny, the person I'm talking about, but, you know, I'm just giddy for y'all because I love this. I love this redemption arc. I love this intense, deep healing, like deep catharsis kind of love, okay? But back to what I was saying. He ends up losing his wife and his son, right? And this puts him in like a deep, dark depression, right? And his daughter wants him to be happy. So she goes and hires this matchmaker. And at first he is completely against it. And the matchmaker, it doesn't see him in that way. But the more they spend time with each other over the span of 2 weeks, so it may not even be that long it takes for you guys to realize what's going on. Over the span of 2 weeks, they become great friends, and she realizes that the wife was cheating on him first and foremost, and with her one true love, because the marriage he was in was arranged between his families because to build more wealth between them, right? And I'm just giving y'all the whole rundown because I just need to so you understand what I mean. And she basically has this gift of feeling this burst of energy. Like I was talking about the rubber band being broken when she's around 2 people who are meant to be together or will make a good match. And she matches them and her rate is like 100%, 10 out of 10, right? So she meets this guy and he's so like closed off, but he's open to dating, but his heart is like, I'm not falling in love with anyone. I will go on a date with you. I will be nice to you, but it's not getting deep out like that. And because she's so adamant in finding out why he's like that, there's something about them being together. When she first meets him, she's like, her whole body goes warm because she's a spiritual matchmaker, not just a regular matchmaker child. She has spiritual gifts and she used crystals and all these things in her practices, right? Love that for her, okay? But there's something about her first meeting him. She felt enveloped by warmth, but she didn't understand why. You know what I mean? And whenever she was around him, she would feel it, whatever. Okay, long story short, they end up being a perfect match for each other. And he ends up confiding in her that he was never in love with anyone. He never felt chosen because his wife, because it was arranged, he was with this woman for decades. But at the end of her life, you know, towards the end, before she passed or was, you know, murdered, you know what I mean? She was in contact with her first love, who got her pregnant. Let me not ruin the book for y'all if y'all want to read it, child. It's so good, I promise you. But he ends up saying he's never been in love with anyone and no one's ever been in love with him truly. He never felt chosen by anyone. So he's scared to open himself up in that way. But by meeting this lady, he feels that he has to. And he starts letting down his guard one by one. He falls first, right? We love that too. And then she's very hectic, or not hectic, she's hesitant to do anything. Because first of all, he's a client. She becomes good friends with his daughter. And what will it look like for her to fall in love with the client she's supposed to be helping fall in love, you know? So it's so freaking good. It's called The Matchmaker. I think it's called The Matchmaker. I forget who it's by, but that's what I'm getting with your person. It's not that they don't want to fall in love or they're a horrible person. No, this man was amazing in the book. Keanu Reeves is amazing, but they've lost a whole partner and a child. And the love in the book was he never felt chosen. He was never in love with anyone. You know what I mean? It was his marriage was transactional. Keanu probably was in love with that woman, but that loss is so hard to overcome. You know what I mean? Until you decide to overcome it. So this is someone who was healing himself. He opened up, the guy in the book I'm talking about, opened up like a jazz club where people could come and like let their worries go. So even in his own grief and pain, he ended up creating a place for other people to come and unwind and find some kind of peace. And that's a great, amazing person. And that's what she tried to tell him in the book. Like, hey, you know what I mean? You're amazing. You're great. You know what I mean? Anyway, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful book. Okay, the Hermit is definitely giving that. Someone who is they know themselves, they are evolved as a person, but they may not be that experienced when it comes to love. They could be grown in their 50s but have never been in love because they're scared of it, and they meet you, boom, y'all fall in love. They don't got to be in their 50s. Don't be scared of that if I keep repeating that. But someone who's lived a lot of their life never knowing what love was, and then meeting you, and then being, what is it called, inspired to give love a chance and be chosen by someone and choose someone and finally get to choose instead of it being chosen for you. Okay, boom. And then here we have Judgment. That is that very deep awakening that I keep picking up on. You following your inner voice. You felt called to them. You don't know why, but it ended up being because they're your person. There we go. Okay, now let's move on to the kind of love that you are manifesting with. I think we kind of went over it already. Very healing, kind of like a relief. Something you've been wanting but have been scared to go after. Slow burn. He falls first. I'm giving you all the romance tropes. Here we have Strength. Yeah, it's going to take some strength on both your parts to make this connection work. Here we have the Five of Pentacles. This is giving lonely, finding someone, feeling adrift on your own. And we have the Five of Cups and the Five of Pentacles. So this person has gone through a lot of difficulty. So this love is going to make them like renew their strength. Because they had to be strong on their own. Now they're realizing that they don't have to be strong by themselves anymore. This is beautiful. Stop it. You're taming their beast. Look at how the freaking lion is like leaning into her, petting him. So he would chop anybody else's hand off. He would bite anybody else's hand off. He would attack anyone else, but he won't attack you. Beautiful. Okay, what kind of love are they manifesting? No longer feeling alone. Here we have King of Cups. Yeah, their emotional realm is going to be healed. Both of you guys. This person's like very zen, very chill. They're giving Keanu Reeves chop. If I don't know who Keanu Reeves is, get into it. You have homework for this reading. Okay? Very chill, overall likable guy. Keanu is a Virgo too. What? Y'all getting with Keanu Reeves? Let me stop, because he already have his woman. Don't be homewrecking. Don't do that. Okay? But I can't. That blew my mind. Like someone who's very philosophical, someone who's very intelligent, someone who's very, they keep to themselves. They're very witty. You know what I mean? They're very charming. They love to give and give back. You know what I mean? That's very important to them. Humanitarianism, or just being a really good, upstanding human being. Okay? That's the kind of energy coming through here for you and your person, okay? I'm like, that man Keanu's a Virgo, for real. Y'all not gonna, everyone of y'all ain't gonna have Keanu Reeves chop, but that's what I'm getting, like a very zen, very chill person. Very relatable. Okay, here we have the Emperor coming through. So we have like a lot of masculine vibes coming through. And then over here we have the Three of Cups. So I believe that, I guess, your love kind of refills back up these cups that they felt were lost in the Five of Cups up here. Because, of course, in the Five of Cups, the Three of Cups is thrown over and empty. And here you're kind of like refilling those things. So for each other, maybe both of you are already sad, or them, who knows. But you guys refill back these three cups together, and you learn you could have a good time in a connection. It doesn't always have to be serious. You guys don't always have to go through hard times. You could just laugh and laugh and laugh. Or you could just read and read and read and talk about it. Like, there's so many things that relationships are like just so good for, that you don't always it doesn't always have to be about, SEX. It doesn't always have to be about romantic. It could just be you were a really good friend for them. You started off as very good friends, and when you have that foundation, like when it goes to love, it's like it's unimaginable. It's beautiful. It's perfect. I'll go so far as to say, because that respect, that mutual respect is there. You know who they are already. Now all of a sudden y'all just kissing and effing. That's the only difference to a friendship and a romantic relationship. The same things you were doing before, now you get to do and include kissing and effing. Like, what? Like, that's it. Like, the connection was already there. It was already beautiful. It was already strong before. But then you just add the romantic elements to it. And I do believe people who were friends first feel like it, I don't know, like there's more respect, I feel like, there, because you know this person, you respect them, you don't want to hurt them. Like, this is reminding me of when David Beckham said, people are kind of like, no, they were asking him, how have you been in love with her so long, or how do you not cheat on Victoria? And he's like, because she's my best friend, I would not want to hurt my best friend. And I'm like, period, period. He said what he said. That's what's come through here. Best friend vibes, first and foremost. And then it kind of elevates into a connection. Then it's even stronger because that foundation is there. So it's kind of like effortless. There's tension there. Maybe you felt it, maybe you did it. Then when you finally released it, bam, that sneeze that, you know, been sneaking up on you that you finally release. Okay. That's how I'm explaining y'all love here, right? Like a nice good stretch, like a nice belly rub, like a head scratch, just comforting, okay? But strength, strong, the love you're manifesting, unbreakable, right? Timeless, because we have the infinity sign at the top where it's kind of like never ending. Then we have Five of Pentacles. This is an energy of finding, look, there's, wow, just what I've been saying. Maybe two lonely people. And if you go and read that book that I was telling you about, right? The girl was also quite lonely, and she was scared to give her heart to anyone as well. So she like decided to just, you know, do humanity a service and find them love instead of herself. And that was something she had to overcome with the guy. He's like, why don't you want to give it a try? Why don't you want to be with me? Like, despite the age, despite your business taking a hit potentially, you know, what is the problem? And she was like, I've been scared to open up. I've been running away from love and kind of distracting myself by finding everyone else love. And I'm like, bars. Oh, bars. You know what I mean? So there's something for you to heal as well, not just them. That's the great part about it. You guys heal it in each other. This is beautiful. Oh my gosh. Okay. But we never have a Five of Pentacles where people are hugging and embracing. It's a card about being lonely. It's two people who are lonely and in the dark and find each other and hold each other's hands through the dark until the sun rises. And then when the sun rises, they realize, oh, this is not like, this is real. Stop it. Chill. This is definitely giving, like, I don't know how to describe this kind of love. It's very beautiful though. It's like the love that you didn't realize was there or was building until it kind of hits you. Okay. King of Cups, you feel safe. This person's emotionally regulated. They're not going to be cussing you out. They're not going to be getting angry at you. They're mature. They're grown. Okay. They know how to handle their emotions and they know how to help soothe yours. The King of Cups is the master of all emotions. This person's also very creative. This love is also very creative. I believe it's life affirming and life giving, life bringing, because I feel like cups like give life to. Okay, also very deep. This is going to be a very deep emotion because I feel like once you're friends with someone, you tell them any and everything. I believe like that's why people who start off as friends, like they last longer till the end, because you be telling your friends some stuff that you may not want to tell your romantic partner. But if you start off as friends and you air your dirty laundry, like there's nothing to hide anymore. There's no shadows of the connection. Everything has been shined upon. The light is there. Okay? Someone you feel safe telling your deepest, darkest secrets to. Now, here we have the Emperor coming through here. And the Emperor is definitely someone who will fight for you, fight with you. Oh my gosh, I can't. I'm funny. Yeah, fight for you, fight with you. This is someone who takes care of everything. You don't have to worry about a thing, okay? Very much Ram, Aries energy, okay? I'm getting a little bit of Capricorn vibes coming through as well. So just all earth sign vibes coming through for your personal. We also have Strength card, which is Leo, coming through. We have the Hermit, which is Virgo energy coming through. We have Judgment, which is kind of Scorpio energy coming through. We have King of Cups, which is Scorpio energy coming through again, but it can also be Cancer and Pisces. And then we have the Emperor, which is Aries energy, but I'm also getting Capricorn vibe. I don't know why. Okay. So yeah. And then we have the Three of Cups here, which is everything begins with friendship. That's the base or the beginning of your connection. That's the core of it. There it is. Okay, so let's keep going and get some oracle cards. Transformational healing is the kind of love you are manifesting. We have the mirror. Yeah, that couple was mirroring that book. If you read it, they were mirroring in that book. Okay. So here we have the mirror. It says self-reflection, writer, big picture. Okay. And then on the book here, it says, did you forget all you had to go through to be you? Child, y'all been through some things, both of yous. And that's why you mirror each other in that way. You both may be scared of love. And that's why this connection, this friendship that ends up turning into love heals you. Because it takes its time. It doesn't scare you. It sneaks up on you, but in like a very soothing kind of way. That feels like a relief once it's released, okay? Here we have the moon. Very emotional. It says duality, hidden gem, secret power. Beautiful. And it says, what if your strangeness is actually your brilliance? You guys may be outcasts as well, maybe. That's why you guys feel so alone with this Five of Cups and Five of Pentacles coming through. Then we have the mind, inspiration, mood, and cycle. So the mind's going to be very important. Give to the mind and it gives back. Is this reciprocation? No, it's inspiration. But I think it's going to be reciprocated, the connections. And it's funny how I believe when Keanu was giving that interview about the girl, how he met her, I think they bonded over a book or something, or she was writing a book and he thought her mind was beautiful when she was writing said book, and that's how he fell in love with her, kind of thing. Okay. So we also have breaking into bloom. Sometimes you will break before you bloom. Time, liberation, understanding. That break before you bloom, child, is definitely giving what I was talking about. You guys break and then heal each other. You fall apart in someone's arms and they're crying, and then you're crying for them and they see someone loves them. Like, there's so many deep emotional scenes in that book that I was reading where he's talking about his wife and she's just there, you know. Stop it. Like, this is so, this makes my heart feel so cozy and warm. Like, I just can't. It's squeezing it with all the joy. So it's painful, but in a good way, a good pain. And then the last card from this deck we have is Sweet Oblivion, Uncertainty, Fate, and Humor. Okay? It's okay. I don't know what I'm doing either. You guys don't know what you're doing when you first meet each other. You don't know you're going to fall deeply in love, and that's fine. That's great. That's a surprise. We love surprises. I do anyway. I don't know about y'all, but hey. Let us get these final cards out. Please, Spirit, my group threes. What kind of love are they manifesting? What kind of love are they manifesting? Soft love. Because I'm looking at the breaking into bloom, the flower petals are soft. It says cacao. You are loved, you are held, and you are already everything you seek. So self-affirmation or affirming kind of love as well. Someone who's always telling you how great you are, which is also a big theme of that book that I was reading, y'all. So that keeps coming through. You are loved, you are held, and you are already everything you seek. So self-love is going to be a big part of this as well. We're just healing through self-love or finding that self-love. Okay. I'm also hearing falling for yourself through someone else's eyes. I'm hearing love letters as well. I'm hearing sonnets. This person could be a modern day William Shakespeare, tortured hero. Here we have wool. This came through for another group. And that's what so did some few of these other cards. They came through the same group. Okay, so it says, you are woven with an embrace, protected, loved, and the familiarity of finally being home. Stop it, my heart. She can't take much more of this. And I love how this card is just sticking out here. We have 4 right there. And 4 is like stable. It's protected. It's you are safe. Okay. Can I get one more card, please, Spirit? One more card. What kind of love are they manifesting? Then we have 4, 4, 4. If we add this 4 there. But this, you are held, you are safe. Stop it, my heart. It says campfire. Do not fear opening your mouth and allowing your tongue to speak. So that's that being able to say whatever you want to say with this person and not scared that they're going to judge you because you were friends first. They already know all your deepest, darkest secrets. They know the things that only your deepest friends know. And that's because they started off as that. My nose is itching so bad in your reading. Jeez. That's my confirmation though, because come on now, relax. Do not fear opening your mouth and allowing your tongue to speak. It's gonna be very free. This love that you're manifesting is gonna be very free because you can say what you feel whenever you feel it and not be scared to say too much, do too much, cry with this person. You know, if you're feeling unsafe, you're gonna say it. If you want some food, you're gonna say it. If you want to go somewhere, you're gonna say it. This person's gonna make you feel like the King of Cups, like I said, like they care about your emotions as much as they care about their own. Why would I want to hurt my best friend? I'm never going to cheat on her. I'm going to take you into consideration. They're going to take you into consideration with everything they do, you know? So you're never going to be scared to open your mouth and ask for something. This is gorgeous. Beautiful. Okay. So I'm going to leave your reading right there. I hope it resonated. If it did, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, join the tribe. We'd love to have you. If you would ever like to book a personal reading with me, you can always get in contact with me using my email in the description box below. I hope you're having a beautiful, wonderful day whenever you're watching this reading. And as always, I will see you gorgeous people in the next one. Mwah. Bye.